Welcome to the Strategic Life Podcast, episode 118. Why don't you listen? With your host, Coach Mario.
Along with Frank.
So, it's clear as day you're not listening, so I don't even know why we're here.
But you're listening to this.
But yeah, facts.
You better be.
FAX. Big facts.
Wait, what?
Facts.
Oh.
Clean your ears. So, what are we talking about when we say, why don't you listen? We're basically talking about taking the feedback. And what does that mean? That means listening to yourself, listening to others, or listening to the response you're getting from whatever it is you're doing in your life. Yeah. I think one of the most impactful things you can do is to take the feedback, meaning if someone is telling you something's not working, if someone is giving you a better way to do things, or, in their opinion, right? Are you taking that as feedback? Are you listening to what people are trying to tell you when they don't agree with you or think there's a better way to do something? Are you really being open to it? Frank, would you say that you are someone who is open to feedback?
Yes. Feedback and criticism. And those are two different things.
Are they though?
Yes. So a couple things. I don't know why you guys didn't listen when I told you Messi was coming to Miami a couple years ago. But I called it 2 years ago.
They weren't open to that feedback.
But you guys weren't open to that feedback. So congratulations to Inter Miami on that one. Next thing. So I guess feedback and criticism. Feedback is this. This is a Frankism. This is my opinion, right? So, feedback is just some BS that we made up in corporate America, right? Oh, allow me to provide some feedback. No. You're just gonna tell me something I did wrong, right? Usually when the word feedback comes in, we all go straight to, oh my God, I'm about to be told the process as to why something didn't work. Because they'll tell you, nobody tells you, oh, let me give you good feedback. No, they're just going to criticize what you have or what you've done.
That's where constructive criticism comes in, yeah?
Yes. Yes. But again, that's also some mumbo jumbo of a way to say, hey, you did something wrong. And I'm okay with it. I get it. We have to use specific wording and dialogue and things like that. But I'm good with the criticism. So I'll give you an example. Hey, Frank, Just give you a good example. Hey, we're gonna go to a dinner. Don't wear t-shirts and shorts. That's criticism. Hey, don't do that. That's fine. And you're supposed to take that. Now, why you don't listen? So if you're gonna sit there, oh well, if I can't wear a t-shirt and shorts, then I'm not gonna go. Okay, then that's fine. But those are two different things. But at least
would that be criticism? Aren't they just giving you instructions?
It depends, man. Criticism is where they take it personal.
Well, I mean, if you were to say, look,
and it's okay to take things personal. Some things are about you personally, right? So, an example, hygiene. If I grew out my beard and it looked horrible, right? And you told me, hey, Frank, yeah, you should shave that beard, bro. That thing's looking scruffy. That's a criticism on me and who I am and what I'm trying to do. Maybe I like it, right? Now you're telling me my appearance, right? So, you have to be able to take those things. That's not feedback. Feedback is, oh, well, you could shave your beard a little better. No, that's too soft. Hey, dude, get rid of it. It looks horrible. So, I'm open to both.
Okay. Well, I mean, so what's really happening and what's the purpose? What's the intention of this episode even is you're always being thrown feedback in some way or another, whether you make music or anything, hey, I think it would sound better if you did this or if I did that, or or if someone's saying, look, we had Rosanna last week here from Mama's Parenting. Parents are always giving other parents feedback and ideas and or constructive criticism or whatever we're going to call it today on how someone should handle a behavior or their children or whatnot. But what we really want to hammer at home is are you listening? Or are you so locked into your own ways and what you know that you're potentially turning down the possibility of finding a solution that may be better for you, finding another alternative way to do something? We're big believers here at the Strategic Life Podcast that if there's only one way to do something, then that's not enough. You should have other forms of ways of doing whatever it is you do in business or something. Otherwise, if that gets taken away, then you have a big problem. So we want you to always be open to other things. And if you are blocking things out because you think someone, let's put it this way. If you think that someone is coming at you negatively or attacking you, you may shut down what they're trying to do, and they're trying to help you. And the intention of taking feedback is receiving it and actually being open to it.
Ooh, well, that's very deep, Coach. So I'll give you a good example. It all depends on the context, and then
True.
B, the relationship between the people having the conversation.
There has to be a rapport, right?
So I'll give you a good example. If you walked into my office and you started telling me how I should run my company, and people, and not you, but somebody walked in here,
Right.
and I had no understanding of who that person is, I might listen to it, but I'm not going to take it to heart the way I would if I had one of my mentors tell me. If Mix tells me, hey, look, you should start offering these products, or hey, this would be a great service for your clients to have. Or if my clients told me, hey, this is something we would love to see from Anfra, I'm going to take that, whether it's feedback, criticism, suggestions, whatever it is, I'm going to take that more serious than I would if it was just some random thing off the street, right? If some vendor walked in here, hey, you should offer this product through Anfra. I'll think about it. If my clients start asking for it, yeah. Again, same thing, same service, same location with the same staff. It's just I'm going to listen to one more than the other. So you're going to value where the message comes from, I think, more than the message itself.
True. I mean, I feel it in one way. Pardon me. I'm trying to process that feedback. I think in some ways, yes, obviously you're going to hold back if it's a salesman trying to sell you what you need to do better business or whatnot. So I can understand if you're dealing with someone and trying to sell you a product, or you're in a retail store and they're trying to tell you what looks better on you, you're not going to be as open to that feedback because, of course, the shirt looks good on me because you want to sell it to me, and things of that nature. But ultimately, one thing that we can do to, let's say, not influence, but try to help somebody who you maybe don't have rapport with, or who might think, oh, you're just telling me this because you're trying to sell me something. Or you just don't have that relationship with them, is to ask the question if they are open to it, right? Because Frank said it himself. In corporate America, constructive criticism or feedback is often seen as what? Oh, you're just going to correct something, and you're saying it in a nice, proper way. But I think one thing that I've learned is over the years, if you really want to help someone, is that you put it, if you phrase it that way and say, hey, I really love the keynote speech that you gave or whatnot, but hey, would you be open to a little bit of feedback? Someone might say, they could say no, and then cool, then not to waste your time, But anyone who does want to better themselves is going to say, like, yeah, what's up? Like, yeah, sure. What do you got? And then you could say, hey, every time you get you say something that's really impactful, I can tell, at least from my impression, that you get really excited and you start speaking a lot faster. And sometimes it was hard to hear you because your pace and your tone switched up. So maybe around those keynotes, those certain things like, X, Y, and Z that you brought up, slow it down a little bit and then drop that bomb and let them process it. You know what I mean? That's feedback. That's something impactful. And I think I'm probably just speaking from my own experience because I am a fast talker and I know it. And when I do get excited, and I've had people tell me that before, you slow down a little bit. But ask the question: are you open to some feedback? Could you be open to hear what I want to tell you? And then they'll tell you. If they want to hear it, then they'll say yes. And if they don't, then they'll say no. And then good. Nobody wastes their time.
So how you deliver the message is very important. So there's 2 points to this podcast, right? One is how to deliver proper feedback, suggestions, criticism, comments, commentary, et cetera, and then how to receive all the above, right? If you're going to give it out, and then first thing you have to do is you have to know your position in the relationship, and then which I tell everybody, know your audience. So if you're in a leadership position and you're going to give the feedback or the criticism or the commentary, you need to play to your team's strength. So if you are, you know, again, last episode, you know, we had Rosanna. If you're a parent or if you're a higher up authority, if you're a boss in a company, if you have any kind of leadership role in a team, right? You need to know who you're talking to, right? So a good example. If I know that my staff is really good at data entry, but they're really bad at sales, I won't put them in the position to be client facing. So that's part of the strategy, right? I'm not going to sit there and harp constantly on client facing or sales strategies with the data entry team. Like, it's just not a good idea. But the feedback for them would be, then I know the feedback I can give is limited to that. I don't need to make everybody perfect at everything. The best way I can do in a sport, right? If you have somebody who's an amazing point guard, well, then they're going to be an amazing point guard. You don't need them at the center position, right? So putting your people in the right place. And then as far as how to take that, if you do have somebody above you that you do respect and your mentors are giving you feedback or they're giving you a criticism, you need to be able to take it as it is and know that it's for a better future. If you're taking advice or leadership or feedback or commitment from higher up that you don't respect, and we've all been there, right? Don't kid yourself. I've had jobs where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe this person is telling me this. Like, I have, not that I don't respect them as a person, I just don't respect what they're telling me and how they're telling me. Like, this person has never led by example, right? And we have that. We have poor leadership. And if you're in those rooms, then you need to be able to take that with a grain of salt. Like, you need to be able to say, hey, but this is what I did well, and then just keep on building on that. So if there is some sort of feedback that you don't agree with, just know that it's there for a reason. Like, maybe you don't agree with it, but it's being asked for you to do.
And ultimately, if you feel maybe you're not getting feedback, right? Because as Frank shared, you know, in an organization, you know, you have to have that relationship. You may not be approachable. You may have created an environment where people feel that they'll be penalized or ridiculed or, you know, maybe even attacked. Like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. Like, you know, if I tell them that the way they run things is terrible, you know, I don't want any consequences and repercussions. So you could have created an environment where people don't feel open to actually approach you, even if they have great ideas, even if they came from let's say another company that was more successful than your own, but you're paying them more, and they were like, hey, these are great ideas that worked out, but you've created a culture where, you know, hey, well, at last month's meeting, someone said something and they got made fun of, so I ain't saying nothing. You might have created a culture where they don't feel comfortable enough giving you the feedback. So in some cases, we might have some people here that aren't listening, and on the other end, there's people that aren't being told anything because they've created an environment that doesn't support people, or they feel for whatever reason that they can't give the feedback because it will maybe fall on dead ears or won't be listened to, or they'll be ridiculed. So you might have to, if you're on this side of the equation, you might have to go around asking for the feedback, which is beneficial to no one is going to ever say anything negative. I mean, they might say, well, it's about time or something like that. But if you were to go around your organization or ask your significant other, hey, what can I do to be a better husband? And then, of course, they might roll out the scroll and say, oh, I've been waiting for this. And Article 1. But you might have to actually ask for the feedback to know how to do better. You might be so intimidating to some people that they've never, you know, they have lots of thoughts on how you can improve, you know, X, Y, and Z, but they don't approach you. This reminds me of Dr. Mario, who's not here, but
we'll provide that feedback off camera.
But like growing up, everyone, you know, they knew my dad was in the Army, they knew he was in the military and all those things. Yep, and if you weren't around him for more than a few seconds, you know, you'd just see him come in, and he's, you know, very usually, unless he's joking with you, he's very, you know, he's got a, you know, I guess for lack of a better, a stoic, straight face. So growing up, everyone would tell me your dad is scary, and I'm like, what? Like, yeah, your dad's intimidating. Again, so that again is just someone's thought process from observing for just a couple moments. He's scary. He's intimidating. Not giving that guy feedback. then I'd get the feedback. And I'm like, my friends think you're like a scary secret agent spy and leaving to another country every other month. Doesn't help them make you feel any better. Now they're joking that you're a secret spy and that you just, drop out of airplanes into a country and just show up once a month. And, that's the feedback. So it is what it is.
I think the biggest hurdle we have is just you need to have an environment that wants you to grow with that. Yeah. What people tell you is for your better, and if you're surrounding yourself with people who don't do that for you, like all my friends, all my clients, like if they don't, when they tell me something, it's for us to get better as a group collectively, and for me to grow as an individual. But if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say, well, it's hard, and no, you don't understand, and well, you've never been there, and I'm having this. If you're gonna be very combative, very defensive once you find those people, then that's on you. And at that point, why aren't you listening, right? If your friends, if the people that are always around you, putting up with your nonsense, and you know who they are, if you have friends that are growing, if you have friends that are doing better, and you want to be like them, why aren't you around them more? And it's not just, I'm always around them, I'm always going to go get drinks with them. No. Go work with them. Go hang out with them. When they go to specific events that show some sort of personal or business or development or physical growth, whatever it is, go with them. Number one. Number two, do not be defensive and combative. You got to let go of that ego and pride. So when you're sitting there and your friends are telling you, hey, this needs to stop, or hey, get over the girl, or hey, move on, or hey, go start your business, or hey, why are you still there? Like if the people you want to be like are telling you that, or the people you trust and love are telling you that, those are clear-cut signs that you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to anybody. You're just doing life. You're just going to wake up in the morning and waste the next 5 years of your life. And that's not good.
So stop doing life. No. Spot on. The number one thing that most people are going to do when they are not open or not trying to evolve is be defensive. Understand, in some cases, yes, there might be some people that might want to attack you. There's some people that maybe get joy out of belittling and making fun of. I mean, the saying goes, right? The people that have time to talk about other people are the ones who aren't doing enough in their own lives, and that's usually true. But ultimately, if you're getting defensive, realize that, again, depends on the context, depends who's the messenger, but in some cases, people aren't against you. Some people have a personality where they've made everyone the villain, right? And they think they're the main character, and everyone's just attacking them or wants their position. Or some people do genuinely want to help you, and I think you'll have to be the judge of character in that in that example. But ultimately, there are people that want to help. There are people that want to see you do well, and there are people who want to see you succeed. Stop playing so much defense. It's draining.
And I'm going to show you guys, right? Because that's what we do here at Strategic Life Podcast. I'm going to show you how to spot that, right? That's very generic. Wait, what? And I'm going to show you guys how to spot that. So if you're working with an organization or you have friends and they're telling you, well, we can't let you see behind the curtain. You haven't earned that yet. Well, you can't be in these meetings yet. Well, you can't know that information yet. Well, we're not going to coach you there. That comes with time. Or, hey, we're going to go little by little. If you hear those things, that's just, and I'm going to say it, that's just a form of manipulation. That's just them stringing you along. That's the carrot on the stick. Right. And it can happen not just in business. It can happen with a relationship, too. Right. If you're dating somebody and it's very, well, I just want to take it slow. And then it's always, date here, date there, no communication. You don't talk to them. There's no text. There's no reply. And then out of nowhere, they pop up again. Like those are just people stringing you along. That's not, those aren't the people you want feedback and any of that from.
And they may also be married, too.
Correct. Correct. You might get that too, right? If it's a random Tuesday night and that's only when they can hang out.
Otherwise known as malarkey, hogwash, hubbub.
Right. You don't want to be around those people. The way it looks is, hey, I'm showing you the secret sauce. I'm showing you behind the curtain Why aren't you there with me? Why aren't you taking advantage of this? And you'll know it because you see proof in the pudding. Wow, man, this guy's driving the car I would love. I would love that car, but you're not gonna take advice. You're not gonna listen to them. You're not gonna ask for it. Like, yeah, that's on you then. You know, oh man, this guy has the job I want, but you don't want to see the skills that it took, the books he's reading, like the people he's around. Like, okay, oh, I wish I had my own business, but then you refuse to go talk to any accountant, lawyer, business manager, or entrepreneur, like, and you all know them, right? Like, man, then that's on you. I wish I had a better relationship. But then the person you're having the relationship, you don't talk to them, you don't ask them questions, you don't find out how they're doing or how they feel about you. Yeah, if you're scared of those answers, yeah, you're gonna end up in a bad place there. So those are the reasons, those are the ways you can tell who's genuine about it and who's not. You know, I'll give you guys a real good one. Not too far from here, I applied for a promotion once, and my boss's boss sat down with me. Hey, we're not gonna give you the promotion, right? Took me to a nice restaurant a couple blocks from here, and I'm like, what?
We're not gonna put you as fry cook.
Pretty much,
you
man.
stay
Right? Yeah.
burgers.
And then, you know, I didn't even ask why. They just gave me the explanation. They're like, oh, you know, we feel you're not genuine. I'm sorry, what? Like how is that? So it's not the performance, right? It's not, well, you didn't interview well, or you didn't say things, or we don't have the budget for it. No. It went to a character flaw that they're designing. Well, we feel you're not genuine. So you're telling me that you think I'm a different person? Like, how does this work? Like how? And then they don't explain it, right? Well, how is it not genuine? Like, in what sense? You think I'm faking the performance? You think I'm faking?
It's coming off.
Yeah, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm faking who I am every day. Like, yeah, I have the energy to do that.
Your numbers are good. Everything is good, but we don't believe you.
But again, so, and then when you try to talk to that person, and then it was, well, you're too combative, well, you're too defensive, well, this is the problem, you always talk your truth, right? You think, okay, now again, that's just a form of manipulation. Like, if you can't come up with a proper way or a proper example to tell me how specifically I'm failing, that's what I'm saying. That's not feedback. That's not criticism.
Yeah.
That's just your opinion, and you trying to shoo me off with some sort of lie or manipulation. So you have to be careful. And then as a leader, you also have to be careful on that side, because after that day, I lost total respect for that entire place. So it's just like, I think that's the pivot where it was just like, all right, I think I'm. You want genuine? I'll show you genuine.
So ultimately, it's all about, are you open to what this world, what this universe, what people are trying to tell you? And so that's why this, again, is called, why aren't you listening? Because in some cases, we like to say the meaning of communication is the response you get, right? So what does that mean? I'm teaching a class, I'm teaching. If everybody's failing, that's not because this group is a bunch of idiots. It's because you are maybe an ineffective teacher. Maybe the way you're approaching the information, the data, something's going on. A good teacher will analyze, well, what am I doing wrong? Not all these bimbos need to figure it out because, I taught this last semester and they all passed. Something could be different. And you're not doing the internal search there. You're going external. It's about going internal. What can I be doing better? What may be causing this? You have to look inside first. So if you're being defensive, it's time to put the walls down. And if you're not being approached, if no one's giving you feedback, and if you're listening to this thinking, man, no one tells me anything about anything. You
got the wrong people around.
You might want to start asking the questions if you're interested in growing and being a better person. Or you can stay the same person, be who you are,
And to Coach's point, failure's a great mentor. It's okay to fail. What it's not okay, and I know it's going to sound cliche, right? But the don't try. No, man. If there's a chick you like, go say hi to her. Go talk to her. Go ask her out, right? Right? Like, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that. But again, oh no, but so then it doesn't work, or you don't do it, or then this, and then your boys are around you and they tell you, well, hey, X, Y, and Z. Hey, fix X, Y, and Z. Or you tell them, hey, look, like I'll share with you guys. We all have insecurities. I've had insecurities about, oh man, but right now my my economy's not good, right? I'm not making the money I feel like I should to be able to go out and date, and you know, so I'm self-conscious about that. Or the car, right? You know, hey, no, look, I've had moments in my life where I didn't even own a car, right? As an adult, and it was just like, man, like for me to ask a girl out and then have to borrow a vehicle, or like, man, I don't want to pick her up in this. I wish I can borrow a car. You know, like those are things. Or hey, no, my clothes, or physical, right? Oh no, I'm gonna go to the gym this year, and then this is the year that by summer I'm gonna feel comfortable in my own skin. And those are failures that are that you need to listen to. Those are things that you need to wake up to and say, hey, I need to fix these things, right? Because again, one thing is, am I approachable? Can I listen to feedback? Another thing is, what the hell are you doing with it? Because once good people tell you good things for you to make a better part of your life, and you do nothing with that information, that's a crime in itself.
So, the universe is trying to tell you something. Why aren't you listening?